It's about to get really hot around here, and not only for today, but we're talking about Saturday and Sunday too. And hot enough to talk about being within record territory here in Lincoln each of the next 3 days. I have forecasted highs up around the 100-degree mark, if not a little hotter Friday and Saturday. But the strain of this heat and humidity will be felt toward the end of the heat wave. Not having a break in the overnight hours, we're really starting to feel it by Saturday and really throughout Sunday afternoons. But these records are from the 1980s, and it's rather uncommon to see 100s and a streak of 100s this early in the calendar year, talking about in June. In fact, the last time we did it here in Lincoln was 1988 when we set those records from June 21st through the 25th. Omaha, you have to go back to 1952, and they could see 3 consecutive days of at least 100 degrees up that way if they do it today throughout this weekend. So something to keep in mind. Talking about the heat index, factoring in the humidity, that's going to be the worst part of this. The oppressive heat, kind of the air that you feel like you're swimming through. We are within an excessive heat warning each of the next 3 days here in Lincoln, with heat indices up around 105 to 110 degrees each day. And when you're in an excessive heat warning, looking across eastern Nebraska from late this morning through Sunday evening, these are the conditions in which heat exhaustion, heat stroke can become more likely to happen if you're not careful and taking breaks, especially during the peak heating hours in the afternoon, each afternoon going forward. There's a heat advisory through central and western Nebraska for late Friday morning through Saturday night, when the heat index could be up to 100 to 107 degrees each afternoon going forward. But it is already hot out there right now. We've had some thunderstorms actually clip the northern portions of the county and brought some gusty winds, some 50 to 60 miles an hour through Wahoo and western portions of Douglas County. But look at these temperatures. Yeah, closer to 80 degrees this morning. A lot of us are starting out with a little cooler air up in western Nebraska down to the lower 60s. But this is what makes it feel so bad day after day. Morning temperatures not seeing much relief in the overnight hours. Dew points up around 70 degrees early this morning, and winds that are going to be rather strong. They're not all that strong right now, but a breeze that you can certainly feel out of the south. By this afternoon, though, we're talking about wind gusts in the ballpark of 35 to 40 miles per hour for much of eastern Nebraska, and that stays the case for Saturday and Sunday as well. Stormcast temperatures showing by this afternoon going to be in the triple digits for a lot of us out here in southeast Nebraska, especially Lincoln and Omaha. And look at southwest Nebraska, 104, 105, 106, not even factoring in the humidity. Once we factor in the humidity, you're talking about wind heat indices again around 105 to 110 degrees, hence why a lot of us are in the excessive heat warning starting late this morning and throughout each of the next few days. There's a look at some of the thunderstorms tracking to the east through portions of western Iowa. Again, we had one storm kind of persistent in and around Burwell and Ord, and then it did cross through eastern Nebraska, held on through the overnight hours. Kind of odd little guy. Throughout the day today, we might experience one other little odd guy. Looking at southwest and south central Nebraska this evening, stormcast showing maybe one storm getting going. Not everyone's going to see that, and it's going to fade away pretty quickly tonight. But when do the other storm chances come? Well, really by late Sunday and into early next week, we're talking about several chances for storms. I know we're going to lose a lot of that soil moisture, but hopefully we get it back, and there is a risk for severe weather and potential for flooding with several rounds throughout next week in cooler weather.
All right, sounds good.